Well, good evening. I have the beautiful pleasure of introducing a dear friend now that I would not have known without LifeWave. Well, maybe I would have. It would have been horses, maybe, but that's okay. Donna Millward. She has been with LifeWave for a couple years now, and I just want to say thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story. I know that being interviewed is not always a comfortable place for people to be, but we also know how important stories are and how impactful they are because I know that you were never going to do the LifeWave business. You started because you were looking for something for your health. And can you just sort of share with us what was going on for you and what had happened?
Sure. So I had had a severe injury to my lower back, going on well over 35 years now. And so I lived with chronic agony every day. And at times it was crippling, where I couldn't walk, I couldn't dress myself. I lived in my chair with a heating pad or an ice pack and ate medication like it was candy. And so, yeah, missing out on a lot. So I had tried many treatments, I think just about everything out there with minimal relief and very short term, nothing lasted. And yeah, like when my back would spasm, um, yeah, it was bad. I was usually on my knees and I was down for at least a week. And so yeah, and then I met you.
Well, yeah, we met in a yard. And I would have to say that your face looks a lot brighter now than it did back then, but I think, you struggled every day. It was just part of it, which would be exhausting. So we ended up patching you because we asked you, asked a few questions of where does it hurt and things like that. So how was that day for you? Because I know you came in skeptical, right? As we all a large majority of us do.
Yeah, very much so. I remember that day because I didn't know you. You had come to work on my horse. And I was having a good day that day. My pain was probably my discomfort was probably around, I'm going to say, a 3 or a 4, which after that many years of living with it every day, it was probably for somebody else would be well over 10. Um, so yeah, and then you asked if I was open to try something new, and I said I'd tried everything out there. I was allergic to so much. I was scared to put anything in my body. And you told me that this was non-transdermal, there would be nothing going into my body. So I said, sure. I mean, yeah, if you can promise me that. So you put LifeWave on my lower back and then went back to working on my horse. And we were talking, and probably about 10 minutes, you asked me where my pain was. And yeah, so I wiggled and went, wow, it's gone. And so, yeah, I went, what, 2 weeks of wearing the LifeWave every day. Went to the barn one day, realized I forgot my patches, and that's when I realized I had no more pain. So
And
yeah,
you
it's
were using X39 as well with that, is that correct?
no,
No, you started there. You started with the Ice Wave.
yeah, yeah. And then I think it was after the 2 weeks I'd started using the X39.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I remember that because you were like, I'm in. I need to share this. Because you're like, I'm not doing this, I'm just doing this to take care of myself. But at that point, you know, we started to talk a little bit more because you saw the results. You were getting your life back. You forgot to put them on. I think that's such a key point to say is because people, we take this for that and that for that, but over time we'll have Ice Wave, in particular in the toolbox, but we may not wear it every day. X39 is that foundation. I know that you wear that on it daily. Um,
yes,
but you were also, not to go into like a lot of detail of it, but you decided that you weren't going to go with what the mandates were. And so you were out of a job too, weren't you, at that point?
Yes, I had lost my job. Yep. So I'd been an officer in the armed forces for 6 years, and yeah, and so like I said to you, no, I don't want to do this. I just want the product. But I went 3 months before because I couldn't believe that the pain would stay away because I was so severe for so long.
Mhm.
And when it still hadn't come back after 3 months, I thought I have to start sharing this. And that's when I decided I would start the business and starting to share.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm going, what is it, 3.5 years? Um, like I'm my back gets sore if I'm overworked, outside. But it doesn't spasm anymore where it puts me on my knees,
Yeah.
and it doesn't last. I'm sore for a day or, what, a few hours. Just put some patches on and it just goes. So, oh yeah, man.
Well, and I want to put into perspective because, I want to put in just because we've created, like, we're friends now, which is fantastic. But I remember the day that you called me and you were like, oh, yeah, I just went over, we went kayaking. I just went kayaking and then I just went for a horseback ride. And then we're gonna go 4x4 tonight, but I have to finish the horse's paddock today. And I said, Donna, when have you ever done all of that in one day? And it stopped you in your tracks, right? You were like,
Yeah. I
you're
would
like,
have never,
never.
I wasn't able to. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you said, holy crap. Oh my God, you're right. I never could have. So when it becomes our new normal, we don't think about it. So as you're sharing that my back gets sore sometimes, I wanted to let people on here know why it might get sore when you've gone
Oh,
kayaking, horseback riding, cleaning out a paddock, and then going 4x4ing at night. I think anybody, so um to have that, what's that worth?
oh, yeah. I can't even tell you. I'm just so grateful that you came into my life for sure.
Well,
So,
and I know you talked about your grandkids. You get to play with them.
mm, yes, I can pick them up and I can get on the floor and I can play and I can go build snowman. And
Yeah.
yeah, I remember my little grandson walking in and he come running in going, Grandma, let's build a snowman. And he went, Oh, you're in your chair. You hurt your back again. I said, Yeah, I did. And that was the norm. I'm like, sorry, buddy, I can't.
Mm.
So yeah, no, life was passing me by for sure. It sucked. Because yeah, I've always loved it outside and I love being active and yeah, no, it's definitely been life changing for sure.
I love
Love
it.
it.
I
Yeah.
know when I call you and you're like, nope, I can't do it. I'm going to my grandkids, and it's like it's a non-negotiable. It's just, and that's what it's, that's, I mean, that's what it's about.
Yeah. Well, and I'll share the what happened to me last Saturday when I went down on the ice.
Mm,
Uh, yeah, I knew it was there, but there's a little mound of ice on the corner of my step, and I come up from the barn and I hit that and I went down on my hip and went, oh God. So, anyways, got myself up and got in the house and climbed into a hot shower and I put on patches. And as the day went on, I could just feel more. The shoulders got hurt, started to hurt, and the neck was hurting, and the back was hurting. And I thought, oh man, this isn't good. And by that night, I could hardly move. But I went to bed with all those patches on, and I got up in the morning, and honest to God, there was no pain. I got up and I walked, and I was like, this is just not happening because yeah, 4 years ago, I'd have been down and out for at least a week, right?
yeah.
And yeah, and I never got bruised. Yeah, like I'm a little stiff, but I should be out of commission. It's the patches. I know it's the patches. So yeah. like
Yeah.
to come out of that fast and that easy, like it was just it's mind blowing, really.
It
So
is
yeah.
pretty amazing what David's created. And I also want to put into context, and then we get to open it up for Q&A after this. But I just want to let people know when we talk about an injury, you were standing on something, fell off of it, and ripped your muscle off of your like the extent of your injury 30 plus years ago was extreme.
I tore everything off my hip.
Yeah.
I went down into a milk crate and they told me I would have been better off if I would have broke my hip. So yeah, like trying to repair that, it just never did because nothing would help me.
Yeah.
So
And here we are today.
and here we are today, like, yeah, it's
Yeah,
crazy.
30 years later and getting that deep repair on an injury that old. So I think
Yeah.
that's really something to share as well, to say it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be new. It's just, your body just needed that oomph to wake up, and this technology is phenomenal. So
Mhm.
thank you so much for sharing. I so appreciate it, Donna, and people really need to hear your story. So thank you so much.
You bet.